Though their techniques are quite clever, efficient, and very creative when it comes to cooking, the Amish are recognized for living simply. Though many of us are preoccupied with purchasing costly cooking equipment and components, the Amish have mastered the craft of doing more with less. And guess what? Their culinary knowledge might help you save maybe more than hundreds of dollars annually. These are not only adorable concepts, these are effective, actual, time-tested techniques. From stretching components to cutting waste, these methods can radically transform the way you operate your kitchen. Here are 6 of their greatest tips you may start utilizing immediately. First, maintain fresh herbs alive for more than 3 weeks. Should you have ever purchased fresh herbs like basil or cilantro, you likely understand the agony of seeing them wither and get brown in only a few days. That's wasted money. The Amish, however, have a smart solution. Treat your herbs like a flower bouquet. Here is what to do. Cut the stems a little and then set them upright in a glass or jar full of clean water, just like putting flowers in a vase. Now here is the magical touch. Loosely cover the top with a plastic bag like a shop produce bag. This maintains moisture without drowning the plants, hence creating a small greenhouse. Change the water every 2 to 3 days. This prevents the development of germs and slime at the bottom, which often destroys your plants. Herbs such as mint, parsley, cilantro, and basil can remain fresh and usable for up to 3 full weeks with this technique, as opposed to the typical 4 to 5 days. That translates to less food waste and fewer shop visits, easily saving you $4 to $5 a week if you use fresh herbs often. The Amish now prefer to keep harsher herbs like rosemary, thyme, or sage dry, wrapped snugly in paper towels and stored in a dry container. This approach even more so maintains their oils and taste. Second, prevent homemade cookies from becoming soggy. Baking cookies at home is wonderful, until they go soft or soggy the next day. Baking in big batches, especially during harvest festivals and holidays, the Amish know how to preserve their goodies fresh and tasty for days without refrigeration or preservatives. Their method is straightforward yet brilliant. Layer your cookies in an airtight container using sheets of plain white tissue paper or even paper towels between each layer after they are totally cool. What is the purpose? The paper lets some airflow and absorbs any remaining moisture, preventing the cookies from clumping together and becoming a mushy disaster. This approach preserves the texture, whether you prefer them crisp or chewy. Delicate biscuits like macaroons, sugar cookies, or shortbread, which can get soft quickly, benefit particularly from this approach. Instead of throwing away stale cookies, you will be able to enjoy every last one and save on materials by not having to bake again so soon. 3. Mason jar. DIY vacuum sealing. Though expensive, vacuum sealers work just as well for the Amish utilizing mason jars and some elbow effort. For dry items such wheat, sugar, oats, dried beans, lentils, or pasta, here's what they do. Your food item should go in a clean, dry mason jar. Then screw the flat lid down using the metal ring. The important thing is to press the jar lid down hard against a soft cloth or cushioned surface to let out as much air as possible. Some even employ a cold surface and heated lids to provide a pressure differential supporting the seal. With time and experience, you will discover how to generate a quite strong vacuum without any electric machine. Once sealed, these jars may double the shelf life of dry foods, maintaining their freshness and safety for far longer. This approach can cut waste by as much as 30%, so enabling you to save not just food, but also money, time, and room. You don't require opulent devices. A nice old mason jar and know-how will do. 4. Check egg freshness, using the water test. When you raise your own chickens or purchase farm fresh eggs like the Amish do, they don't always have a defined expiry date. How then do they determine whether an egg is still good? A bowl of cold water is the surprisingly easy solution. This is how it functions. Gently put the egg in the water. It's really fresh if it sinks and lies flat on the bottom. It's still safe, but a little older if it stands erect or tilts. Should it rise to the top, ignore it. That indicates it has likely gone bad and gas has accumulated inside. Grounded on science, this technique holds that over time, air seeps into the porous shell of the egg, increasing its buoyancy. The Amish depend on this test more than written dates. It enables them to prevent food illness and waste of perfectly fine eggs. This advice could help you save up to $8 to $10 a month if you're discarding eggs only on the basis of a best buy date, particularly if you bake or cook regularly. 5. A penny in the soil helps herb growth. If your herbs survive the winter, indoor herb gardens are fantastic for saving money. Though the Amish employ an ancient copper technique that actually works, many find it difficult to maintain herbs alive in pots under cold. Here is what they do. Using a clean copper penny, dated before 1982, works best as it's almost pure copper. Carefully press it into the soil close to the roots of your herb plant. Why is that? Watering the plant causes the copper to release ions into the soil. Common issues for indoor herbs are fungus, mold, and root rot. These copper ions help to combat these. They also support better, more robust development. This little action can keep your basil, oregano, or mint plants alive all winter, which would reduce excursions to purchase fresh herbs and increase homegrown taste in your cuisine. Saving $2 or $3 each shopping trip adds up quickly. 6th, just a pinch of salt will fix. Bitter coffee. We have all experienced one cup of coffee that is simply too bitter to consume. Many attempt to remedy it by including additional cream or sugar. The Amish, however, they grab the salt shaker. Indeed, a dash of salt in the coffee grinds or straight into the prepared cup can quickly soften the harshness. Salt doesn't make your coffee salty. Rather, it accentuates the natural tastes and offsets the severity, particularly in dark or overbrewed roasts. In fact, studies support this. Salt has no calories and is more effective than sugar at lowering bitterness. Furthermore, it implies you don't exhaust all your sweeteners attempting to correct it or squander a whole pot of coffee. It's a little tip that can improve a poor cup of coffee and save you from discarding good beans. 7th, use the root to slice onions without tears. Should cutting onions constantly cause you to weep, this Amish technique could preserve your eyesight and your tolerance. The Amish cut the onion from root to stem rather than straight through the centre, leaving the root end alone. Most of the sulfur chemicals that cause tears exist in that root. Cutting into it releases those compounds into the atmosphere, which causes burning eyes and tears. But maintaining the root limits the exposure and the tears. Furthermore, leaving the root on provides you something to hold on to as you cut, which helps to speed and accuracy of your cuts. The outcome? Less wasted onion, faster prep, and less tears. Cooking with onions every day will help you to save time and aggravation repeatedly. 8. Three-day soup approach for optimal flavour. The Amish have a soup technique that transforms simple components into something fit for a restaurant. It only requires some patience. Here is the 3-day procedure. Roast bones, chicken, beef, turkey, on day 1 to bring forth their deep caramelised taste. Day 2. Include hearty vegetables such as carrots, onions, potatoes and celery, and boil gently to get their whole richness. Day 3. Just before serving, mix in delicate ingredients, fresh herbs, leafy greens, or thinly sliced garlic. The outcome is a thick, rich, soul-warming soup that tastes as though it originated from a 5-star kitchen. Every layer adds richer taste. This approach minimises food waste and transforms leftovers into meals since you are using every last bit, from bones to vegetable ends. This strategy can extend leftovers for several days if you're feeding a family, hence saving significant money over time. 9. Include spices and herbs at the appropriate time. Amish soups and stews taste so excellent for one reason: their sense of time. They don't simply throw everything in at once. Timing is crucial, particularly with herbs and spices. If cooked too long, delicate herbs like parsley, dill, basil, and thyme lose their fragrance and nutrients. The Amish, therefore, include them at the very end, just before serving. Its significance is long cooking draws tastes from vegetables and bones. Short cooking keeps the bright, fresh flavours of herbs. This layering of tastes creates a richness that quick cooking cannot equal. It's all part of what the Amish term bone patience. A single chicken may produce many gallons of broth, feeding a family of 4 for about $1.25 per serving, as opposed to a $6 store-bought soup. 10. Family of 4 soup, under $1.25 per serving. Over the years, the Amish have honed their skill at transforming bones, trash, and leftovers into meals that last for days. They transform one chicken carcass into a soup that serves 4 for under $5 total with careful planning and slow simmering. That covers grains like barley or rice, as well as herbs, vegetables, and spices. What makes it so healthy? The slow simmering technique pulls minerals, marrow, gelatin, collagen, and bones nutrients, often lacking in store-bought soups. It's really therapeutic, not simply filling. This is old-world food at its finest. Compared to most meals you can get now, it's healthier and more reasonably priced. 11. Speedy and clean cooking with one-handed egg cracking. Though the Amish employ technique to save time, especially on large baking days, cracking eggs with one hand may look like a show-off stunt. This is how it functions. Using your thumb and middle finger, hold the egg sideways. Tap it quickly on the rim of the pan or bowl. To open it properly, push softly with your thumb. Once you get the hang of it, this technique reduces your preparation time and prevents shell dropping into your batter. For fragile recipes like meringues and custards, where a little shell might destroy the texture, it is particularly useful. The Amish place more importance on skill than on devices. This is one ability that is beneficial if you are preparing food for many people. 12. Sugar and butter will help to correct acidic tomato sauce. Homemade tomato sauce is fantastic, but especially if you're using canned tomatoes or underripe ones, it can also come out far too acidic. The Amish have a straightforward solution. To offset the acidity, add 1/8 teaspoon of sugar every cup of sauce. For richness, then mix in around half a teaspoon of butter. The sugar offsets the acidity by binding with acidic chemicals, therefore softening the harshness without sweetening the sauce. The butter provides a creamy, silky texture that makes it seem as though you spent hours on it or purchased a gourmet $8 jar. Best of all, this solution just costs a few cents and transforms even the most affordable can of tomatoes into a delectable sauce. 13. The library of bacon grease. In an Amish kitchen, nothing goes to waste, not even the fat from bacon. The Amish preserve several kinds of bacon grease in cool, dark labelled mason jars rather than throwing it away. Why name them? Since every kind of bacon fat has its own taste profile, applewood smoked fat gives morning potatoes flavour. Hickory smoked fat intensifies the flavour of gravies, greens, or beans. Frying or seasoning vegetables uses regular fat. A tablespoon of bacon fat replaces 25 cents of oil or butter and provides 10 times the taste. Stored correctly, it survives for months, which makes it among the most practical leftovers you will ever keep. Even the best chefs acknowledge that nothing compares to actual bacon grease. 14. Damp paper towels help to keep salad greens fresh. Fresh salad greens are well known for going limp overnight. The Amish, however, preserve greens crisp for up to 2 weeks using a clever and easy technique. Here is what to do. Rinse your greens and pat them dry. Loosely wrap them in somewhat moist, not wet, paper towels. Put them in a zip bag or airtight container. Every 2 to 3 days, replace the paper towels. This method maintains the ideal moisture level for the greens, neither too dry nor too wet, and prolongs their shelf life far beyond the typical few days. It's like treating your lettuce to a mini massage, and it might save you $5 or more each week on wasted vegetables. 15th, extra fluffiness from mayonnaise in scrambled eggs. You might be surprised by this Amish breakfast hack, a tablespoon of mayonnaise in scrambled eggs. What for? Since mayonnaise is primarily oil and egg, it cooks wonderfully into your eggs. It makes them particularly fluffy. Increases creaminess, stops robbery outcomes or overcooking. Before cooking, just mix in half a teaspoon each egg. You won't notice the mayo. It simply provides your scrambled eggs that smooth, buttery restaurant-style finish. It's a low-cost, high-reward addition to your morning meal. It's a high-reward, low-cost improvement to your morning meal. Tissue paper helps to maintain homemade cookies crisp. Soggy cookies are disliked by everyone. Passed down through generations, the Amish have a trick. Keep cookies in an airtight container coated with simple tissue paper between every layer. Without entirely drying out the cookies, the tissue softly absorbs extra moisture. This approach maintains their texture exactly whether you like them chewy or crunchy. It's particularly beneficial during harvest season or holidays when baked products have to remain fresh for days. No sophisticated equipment required. This straightforward trick keeps sugar cookies, macaroons, and other delicate sweets. 18. Mason jar vacuum. Sealing, no machine required. Forget pricey vacuum sealers. Long used by the Amish, mason jars are great for keeping dry items including grains, flour, beans, and sugar. A seal that preserves food fresh for twice as long may be produced using only the correct pressing method. Just put the dry object in a clean jar, push the lid down hard, and turn until tight. The outcome? Reduced food waste, up to 30%, and reduced exposure to air and moisture. One jar may hold dry products for months, so conserving space, money, and your groceries. 19. Egg freshness. Water test. Does that egg in your fridge still qualify? The Amish employ a traditional water test. Fill a basin with cold water and softly drop in your egg. Fresh eggs lay flat and sink. It's still usable but older if it stands erect. Should it float, throw it away. This technique stops foodborne disease and helps to avoid cooking with rotten eggs. You can rely on it more than expiry dates. The Amish have employed this technique for years to remain safe and save money, about $8 to $10 monthly in avoided waste. For years, the Amish have used this technique to remain safe and save money, about $8 to $10 monthly in avoided waste. Damp towels help salad greens stay fresh. The Amish wrap moist, not wet, paper towels around greens like lettuce or spinach after washing them and store them in sealed containers. This method prevents wilting by keeping the leaves moist, but not soggy. Your greens can last for 2 weeks if you change the towel every few days. It's like treating your salad to a spa day and saves you $5 or more each week. There you have it. 20 ageless Amish cooking tips showing you don't need expensive components or sophisticated tools to cook like a professional. All of these suggestions emphasize simplicity, creativity, and maximizing what you now possess, qualities the Amish have perfected over years, from keeping your herbs fresh for weeks to transforming soup leftovers into gold to making scrambled eggs taste like a 5-star brunch. These tricks can help you save time, money, and work while also improving the health and flavor of your meals. Tell me in the comments below if you discovered anything fresh or intend to use one of these suggestions. What is your preferred kitchen hack? Or perhaps you have one handed down in your family. I would be eager to know it. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like it, subscribe for more survival advice and old-fashioned culinary knowledge, and press the bell symbol to ensure you don't miss what follows. Until next time, keep things simple, spend less, and cook smart, the Amish way.